A very good morning, students. Welcome back to a new class on a new topic called Stages of Global Marketing. So in today's class, we shall discuss the topic called Stages of Global Marketing. So here we are going to see how global marketing is evolved. You can retitle it as evolution of global marketing, right? So let us see how global marketing has evolved. You see, initially we had domestic marketing centuries back, which is confined only to the kingdoms, only to the national borders. And then when the market got saturated there, or when they wanted to increase the revenue, they started exporting the products. And then we had export marketing for a certain period of time. And later we started having our manufacturing plants over there. Then we went for international marketing, not just to the neighboring countries, but to one or two continents. And then we later, the era of multinational marketing has come by the mid of this particular 28th century. Now we had multinational marketing in one or few continents of the world. And finally we ventured into global marketing. All right. So global marketing is like present in almost all parts of the world. Now, international marketing, multinational companies come under international marketing, multinational marketing, or global marketing, right? And MNC covers these three forms: international, multinational, and global. Domestic company covers these two: domestic and import. Okay. So, in international marketing, multinational marketing, and global marketing are employed by multinational countries, MNCs. So let us look at domestic marketing. What do we mean by domestic marketing? As the name itself is self-explanatory, domestic in the sense confined only to the national markets, confined only to the homegrown market. Say if it's an Indian company selling only in India, if it is an American company selling only in United States, not outside the country. Now all such particular organizations which market or which sell their products only to their homegrown markets or only within their national borders, they are called domestic marketing companies. As usual, see, since they are selling only in their own country, since they are marketing and selling in their own country, obviously the market is a single market, right? And then they are not going to have major issues also, because only one set of competitive economic and market issues, and it deals with one customer, right? Domestic customer, right? So this is one of the most latent or one of the most early stages of marketing, that is nothing but domestic marketing. Now slowly organizations, what they have done is, in greed of money, they wanted to expand, right? They want to increase their revenues. So then they started appointing these channels of distribution. They started appointing members of channels of distribution, right? They appointed a distributor or they appointed a dealer in outside countries. So manufacturing, say for example, if we take the case of Bajaj Auto has got its plant only in India, right? Whether it's a Pulsar or Discover or any other model, whether it's a two-wheeler market or a three-wheeler market, they manufacture only in India, right? They have got their plants in only in India. So from the Indian plant, what they have done is they started appointing dealers in Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Cambodia, Bangladesh, countries like this in the Southeast Asian nations. So today if you go to Cambodia, you'll find a Pulsar over there. Or if you go to Indonesia, you'll find a Bajaj Auto over there, right? So how this particular product has reached? So they happen to appoint this particular, distributor or a dealer there, and then export the product. So from here they export the product. The dealer or the distributor, he claims the product over there. He receives the product. He sells the product in his country. He takes a part of his commission, and the remaining amount will be credited back to Bajaj Auto. Okay, so that's how this particular export marketing is done. right? Okay, so products are physically shipped here and so on and so forth. Next, after export marketing, the next version happens to be international marketing, right? From international marketing, we move to multinational organizations. So what happens in international marketing is we set up a manufacturing plant over there, or we set up a servicing organization over there, right? And then we manufacture and then we sell these particular products to the nearby countries, right? So Coca-Cola or Pepsi or might be Procter and Gamble, they have got their plant in India, right? The manufacturing plant is located in India. From the Indian manufacturing plant, they distribute the product to Nepal, Bangladesh, Burma, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Maldives. Right. So to all these particular countries, the product moves from India. So all the South Asian countries are covered over here. Similarly, they put a plant in Dubai. From Dubai, they export the product to Oman. They export this particular from Dubai. They cater to so in Dubai, one particular plant. India, one particular plant. Towards this particular Japan, one particular plant. Like this, they set their particular manufacturing plants, and to the nearby countries they sell the product. So that is called as international marketing, where you are going beyond, that's called as international marketing. Generally this international marketing happens through their own subsidiaries. Okay. Next is multinational marketing. So in case of the multinational marketing, we go beyond the continent, outside the continent. So now we are going to we are not marketing in the neighboring countries, or we are not marketing in the same in the same continent. We have got different countries. We are not doing that. We are going beyond our continent, right? We are going to sell the product in Australia, which is a separate continent. We are going to sell the product in Europe, which is a separate continent. We are going to sell the product in South America, right? So like this, different. Okay, so when we start selling the product in different countries, might be 100 countries or 80 countries or 120 countries or 60 countries, now belonging to different continents, can be few, right? Can be 3 continents or 4 continents or more than 2 continents. Then that particular marketing is called as multinational marketing. That particular marketing is called as multinational marketing. There's a challenge here with this particular multinational marketing, right? Multinational marketing emphasizes a lot on localization, and they deploy a lot of marketing strategies. So because of the duplication, there is chance of duplication, right? But there's also benefits, right? We are able to completely tailor a marketing strategy according to the local requirements. So multinational marketing example for this particular multinational marketing is like McDonald's or KFC, now things like this. In case of this particular McDonald's, now we have got the international products, we have got continental products. You'll have the European menu on that, you'll be having the American menu on that. So European or an American walks into McDonald's, he'll be getting his homegrown dish, right? Okay, European will be getting his European dishes, American will be getting an American dishes. Now similarly, they have got local dishes also. Say for example, McDonald Chennai will have dosa, right? Masala dosa, or this particular plain dosa, like that. And then Cochin will have uttapam. Then you go to McDonald's Ahmedabad, they'll have doklas. And then you go to Amritsar, Punjab, I mean McDonald's, they'll be having parathas, aloo paratha or gobi paratha. Okay, so like this. Okay, so that's what the MNCs are specialized in, this particular localization. Next and the last phase is our global marketing. So here you are going to wind up the entire world. It's present in almost all the continents where we have human habitation. Wherever we have the human habitation, they will be having products. Say for example, in the continent called Antarctica, we don't have human habitation. So marketing is not done, our products are not sold in Antarctica. Right, but in the other continents, apart from that, North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Australia, In all these particular places and all, we have this particular products being sold. The best example for global marketing is Coca-Cola, right, which is present in more than 200 countries, right. It's present in almost 85 to 90% of the countries in the world, right, Coke. So that can be the best example for global marketing. So global marketing has got certain advantages. It throws a plethora of opportunities for economies of scale, and then they can have an enhanced competitiveness, right, because they can manage well, they can manage to integrate, create new marketing strategies, and that too at a global scale. Okay, that's again one particular advantage. All right. Similarly, global marketing strategy involves the creation of a single strategy for the entire market, a single strategy. Example, Diet Coke. So Diet Coke is a single product for the entire world market. All those particular people who are conscious about the sugar levels, or all those particular people who are diabetic, now they go for a Diet Coke. So single product for the entire world. Now that's the beauty of our global marketing. But we have certain challenges also. Right now, sometimes it may not fit into those particular cultures. In certain cultures, it may not fit. Then you'll have to go for localization, which multinational marketing strategy does. Okay, so these are the 5 strategies that we have got in this particular class, right. First one is domestic marketing, second one is export marketing, right. Third one is this particular international marketing, 4 multinational marketing, and the last one, fifth one, is global marketing. Okay, so thank you students for your patient hearing. We'll again meet with a new topic in a new class.